just saw it this week. It was like I would be lying to you and myself if I said I wasn't a genius.
You would say something like
It just
that.
brings up that great South Park episode for me.
Hmm.
Fish sticks. Hey, Andrew, do you like fish sticks?
Yeah, I don't have any sort of issues with them.
Do you like
Do
to
you like
put fish
putting
sticks
them
in your mouth?
in your mouth?
Yeah, of course.
What are you, gay fish?
What the hell did you just say to me? I don't know why I agreed to do this. I don't need this sort of thing. That was uncalled for.
Let's finish the intro. Okay.
Okay. Who are you?
I'm Keegan Shiner. Not
We'll
right
get to
now,
you in a second,
Andrew.
Andrew.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, we'll get to you in a second, Andrew.
Right.
Good job.
I just threw you in.
yeah.
in. Yeah.
That's our fault. We apologize, Andrew. That's our fault. Who am I?
Eric Schwartz,
What are we doing?
podcasting.
What are we, though?
We're podcasters.
And what's our name?
I just told you, Keegan Shiner and Eric Schwartz.
Okay. Well, what's our name as a collective, as a group?
As a collective,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. What's the name of the podcast then?
What's the Dumb Comic Creators.
There we go. We got it. Yeah.
Yay. Okay.
Yeah. And who do we have on today? Now we can introduce his name.
You tell me, Eric. This is your thing.
Okay. Andrew Sauer? Question mark. I got it. Yeah.
Andrew Sauer. Cool.
Yeah. Andrew Sauer.
And he runs an Instagram page. Do you call it a comic to yourself?
I would like to think of it as a comic, but no, I would just say it's just a document.
Okay. And it's an Instagram document. It's at Costanza_sketch. It's called Daily George Costanza Sketch. Yeah, it's hard to describe this one in words.
So he is doing he's doing the Amelie of George Costanza. If you've seen the movie Amelie, one of the main characters drew once per year, does the same painting over and over again. Andrew is doing a different version of that, where it's George Costanza making a face while holding a baseball bat, and he's doing the same George Costanza. Sometimes his face, sometimes the full body, sometimes the shadow of him in the background, sometimes a breakdown of the shapes of him, just over and over again. I think you said the goal was to do it 365 times, like once per day for a year.
Yeah, the plan was originally to do it all like 165 days straight, and I've kind of failed that streak so far, but gonna keep at it, see if I can get at least that number and maybe even more.
What initially inspired this, and like what drew you to the George Costanza too?
So what initially inspired it is like I used to draw a lot as a kid, and I guess it was actually right before COVID. I was like, I really want to get better at this, and maybe actually make a real comic someday. And so I started doing some things, and kind of got this idea of just repetition in my head. Like you work on one thing again, you can see the mistakes you made and fix those and do better at them. And just kind of the things I had seen, like, oh, try drawing this box 1,000 times, just didn't really seem like a lot of fun. And I don't know why, like the image of George Costanza holding that bat stuck out to me, but I was like, I'm just going to draw this guy over and over and over again and try to get better at it. And yeah, I really don't know why I chose the George Costanza picture, other than like I liked the kind of incredulous face that he had going on.
Is it part of a meme? Is it from a meme?
So it is a meme, I'm pretty sure, because every time I Google the image, because I use as a reference, it comes up on Know Your Meme.
Okay.
I don't quite get what the meme was,
Okay.
but I just like the face that he made.
By the way, I just wanted to point out that Alice is watching, and
Oh, nice.
yeah, Alice, the pigeon lady, who's a previous guest, and Andrew are friends, and so
Friends of the.
thank you, Alice,
Friends of
for
the
sending
podcast.
Andrew our way.
Yeah, thanks for putting me in touch.
George Costanza. So George Costanza bat is a meme. Okay, but we don't know why. It just shows up. That's funny.
Yeah, I think there was a time where like it was one of those exploitable things where you could like it was one of those exploitable things where you could like some people photoshopped it as like another character with that same face or whatever, but
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Okay. Interesting. But you don't know it specifically.
No, I didn't like make any sort of like connection with that. It's not one that I really had a lot of connection with. I just thought that he looked like a fun thing to draw.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So, what was it like drawing the first George Costanza?
That one, it was just pretty simple. Like, I think I sat down for maybe like 5 minutes and started drawing it. I really didn't have any sort of like guide to go off of. I was like, I'm just gonna try this. It was pretty smooth, pretty simple. I wasn't really paying attention to like where's his nose positioned, where's his glasses, like what's the shape of this. So it just felt like doodling, and I really just put it up there for myself and for a couple of friends, see if they'd find it funny. I didn't tell any of my friends either who I was and that I was doing it. I just started following all of their accounts,
Oh,
so
okay.
just kind of like kept it quiet from them for a while until they figured it out.
Okay. Okay. So you have like other Instagram accounts.
I have like my personal one
Oh, okay.
that I do. Yeah, but that's about it.
So what was was there a strategy as you go like to improve, or are you just kind of sort of switching it up, or
Well,
depends on
initially
the
there
day?
was like I was trying to go through this program called Drawbox that like is all about teaching you like the mechanical skills, and I was reading a book called like Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain. So I tried to incorporate the things I had worked on that day into it, and I did see an improvement. But then there came a time where I just felt like I was just like it became a chore to sit down and draw the Costanzas, and that's why I took a really long break at one time.
Oh,
And
okay.
so now I'm just like having fun with it. Like if I get better at it at drawing, that'd be great. But at this point, it's more like, yeah, can I have fun with it? You know,
You
yeah.
have improved though, like just over time. Because I was just even yesterday, I was showing your Instagram to some of my friends, uh, and they were like, "Yeah, you've gotten like," they were saying like, he's gotten a lot better just like over time. Just
Thanks.
so I guess it, like practice has made perfect. Did have you said you kind of did it first time by hand? Like, have you like actually like invested like in like books to draw characters or
Yeah.
just
Invested, no, but I found some free ones online. Like I was using what is it? Like I think it's Andrew Loomis. He had this one called like Fun with a Pencil or whatever. So I do, I guess, like that's the most basic thing I do is kind of incorporate the principles from that when I do. Sometimes I feel like I just am like bullshitting it and don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I there's times I think it helps. I have a really big issue with I think the perspective of his head. Like his head always ends up being like way more bulbous up top, so I got to get that nailed down.
Yeah, is it a hard person to draw compared to other people? Have you drawn other people?
I'll sketch a few people, like other people, like just for the hell of it, and I don't post it anywhere. I'll put it sometimes do it in my story, but what's difficult with this George Costanza is every picture I find of the image is super low def, and it's like real grainy, so I have to kind of like you know fudge some of the details I think, or just kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
The other thing is like I guess the way that he's leaning and has his body positioned really has been throwing me off some. I've really started to realize like his glasses position is really difficult for me, but
Yeah, he's contorted his body, right? He's
yeah,
like he's got his shoulders forward for one thing,
yeah,
and he's kind of also like turned his neck.
hmm
He's not looking where his body or his neck are going, or his
yeah,
nose. Like his nose is going this way, his eyes are going opposite of his nose. You know.
yeah. And he's got that big old baggy '90s shirt, so you lose like all this definition with all those like wrinkles and everything over there.
You do, yeah.
yeah.
What was the choice of not including the fence or the bat? Or sometimes the
Um,
bat is in there, yeah.
Sometimes the
the
bad is a
the
sword too.
oh yeah, that's the fun part is getting to throw something else in there because I cannot get that bat down. I have tried. I need to like sit down, like just draw 100 bats like in one day and see how that goes.
Yeah.
But honestly, the reason why I didn't add any backgrounds because I just never thought about it. Like when you mentioned that, I was just like, huh, I could put the fence back there. I could draw the rest of this stuff. So maybe I will for the next one. I'll do like an actual like sit down, spend a good half hour drawing out the best Costanza scene I can.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
When you draw a new picture, do you look at the previous ones, or is it only the original? Are you doing a telephone game where like I'm drawing it based on the
Ooh.
first or the picture beforehand, or
I kind of just sit down and sometimes I'll do the reference and sometimes I'll try to do it from memory. Sometimes I will try to do it on like I have actually like 3 or 4 like index cards with Costanza like around my desk right now. So just like grab one and try to like base it off of that. So sometimes it is a telephone thing, but that's a good idea. I should just spend like a whole week of like just seeing how much more like strange and like corrupted this image of George Costanza gets over a week of trying to do it based off of yesterday's version of him.
Why do you think it's so hard to do this every day for you?
Um, it's just like anything with repetition. It's like when it starts out, it's fun, it's funny. Then you do it again, and it's just like, okay, I'm just sitting here drawing the same thing, and I kind of that's why it became a chore at one point. I'm like, man, am I really just like what was supposed to be a fun, goofy thing is taking up more of my time now, and I worry about it. So that's kind of why I think it's just
How long
it's
does
become
it take you to draw one?
not very long. It depends. Like sometimes I'll do one. I'm just like, no, it's not good enough for today, and just like keep doing it. So like
Interesting.
there have been times where I'll spend like an hour drawing one, and just be like so fed up with myself by the end of it.
That's
And other
so
times it'll
funny.
be like 5 minutes. So
Interesting. Alice would like to see the degeneration too, as well.
okay,
I'm gonna throw it in when we get comments. It's very exciting for this
yeah,
podcast. So
yes?
we'll do a degeneration this next week. I'll do that one.
yeah, for sure. What? So it doesn't take very long sometimes. So
Mhm.
if there's a day that you don't want to do it, why don't you just crank one out like quickly and just like this is it. This is all I'm doing today. I'm
It's a
just wondering.
stick figure.
I'm wondering. Is it like some sort of perfectionist or ego or like what like I'm wondering why the
Or at
hesitancy.
this point,
Yeah.
is it the sunk cost fallacy?
Yeah, I think it does have to do like sometimes with the like the idea of not being able to see yourself progress. And so I'm like, why am I doing this? It's like I'm looking at this one Costanza that I did like today, and it doesn't look any better than like 3 months ago. And I mean, it's one of those things like you look at your stuff and you're wrestling with yourself. Like the answer is clear. It's like I'm not really putting in the work to get better. Um, so it's just one of those things. But yeah, I should just grind it out, do one real quick. Because what keeps me going is people seem to like it regardless of how good or bad they are, which is funny to me. It's like if this is making somebody else happy, then yeah, I can slap down a Costanza today and put that up there for y'all.
It's very yeah. It's intriguing to me because it's such a like it's like a universal problem feeling that consistency sucks. It's like a chore. It's like,
Yeah,
but it's meant to be a fun thing, but it's still difficult to like bring yourself in
one hundred
to
percent.
play, right? Basically you're playing. So it's
Yeah,
like it can be a chore to play, which is like a weird uh disconnect somehow.
yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Yeah.
it's like as a kid, I always thought like any sort of art, like writing, drawing, playing music was never going to be like. It was always fun as a kid, so it was always going to be fun forever. So then actually like sitting down, like having to do it as like a repetition and like to be disciplined about it. It's like, hey, this isn't fun. I'm doing this wrong. I'm not enjoying it at this time. So it's that weird fight back and forth.
That's weird, right? Like that's how
Yeah,
they teach you how to draw better. But like
yeah,
that is what sucks about doing it for some people is like the repetition and practicing.
yeah,
But like if
10,000 hours or 10,000 paintings.
yeah.
yeah,
Ten
but
thousand Costanzas.
but you have to wonder about that approach of like repetition and drawing as like a way of practicing instead of just
Mm-hmm.
freedom, freedom to just as long as you draw something today, you'll get better, right? Or
Yeah,
is it like no, you have to draw this apple 5 times in 5 classes each time. It's the same
yeah,
apple, same thing. We're gonna do the apple again until you get the apple down, and then you can move on to other objects, and you'll
yeah,
understand that the apple has weight, or like I don't know. I quit art before that too.
yeah.
Yeah, I quit it too. Yeah, I understand that, but that's very intriguing. Cool. So, yeah, I was actually going to ask you to draw one while you were on the podcast, but I think it'd
Yeah.
be hard to draw.
I
And
mean,
talk.
Yeah.
I could try to knock one out. It's not going to be a good one, but
Also,
I
you know,
can.
too, it's like it's not the most entertaining thing to watch him just do that really quickly. So
Right. No,
Yeah, okay,
not
yeah.
for sure. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it would be a good cross promotion, Eric,
Okay.
if he posted a George Costanza that he drew on the podcast.
Well, I can try doing it while I'm talking. Like keep my eyes off it and just like
Okay. Let's go
Okay.
for it.
see if I can do
Okay.
it just by hand. And
Okay.
All right. You could describe it while you do it too. You
Okay,
can
so I
do
just
it.
put down the. I'm not looking down at it, but I'm just put down the left, my left.
I mean, you can look down. You look
okay.
down
All
and just
right, you want me to
describe
look
as
down
you
at it?
go, and
All right.
we'll bring up George Costanza on the computer here for our Twitch people,
right.
and as you go, we can all just kind of like imagine what you're drawing.
So I'm starting out with his nose because that kind of gives me a good base of where everything else goes.
Now, did
I
you
think.
study like the way that the head is meant to be drawn? Like the eyes are always halfway down the head.
Yes, I've looked at that, and that's something I try to keep in mind. Like I have one that I did when I was waiting to get started today. This one here, and I tried doing that.
Okay.
But like the way that his eyes are at the bottom of like this kind of round part of his head, I just always kind of end up doing it too far down.
It's because it's at an
his-
angle, right? Like,
Yeah.
Because the camera's at an angle, and so is his head, and like so that gets all thrown off perspective wise, right? Interesting. Okay.
And then like he's also kind of leaning, so it's like his ear seems like it's up higher, but his eyes are in line.
Right.
There's a
so,
few things that are really weird about him.
So you do have to like figure out that line, that center line, that like because the eyes are always directly in line with the top of the ear,
Yeah.
and
Oh, with the top of the ear. That
with the
makes
top
sense
of the
now.
ear.
Okay.
Yep. And
All
then
right.
the nostril flare. The nostril is always in line with the tear duct of the eye,
Oh.
and then the
Hmm.
mouth, the ends of the mouth is always in line with the pupils of the eye. And other than that, those are like my basic anatomy things that I know about the eyes. that I know
Well,
about the face, right?
That's good.
I can
Good to know.
I-
I need to learn more stuff about facial structure.
Yeah. Yeah. Other than, I mean, like this is a very hard. I would say this is a hard face to do, because of there's wrinkles. There's like, I mean, the eyebrow has an eyebrow, but then like he's got like a weird muscle coming out, like distorting his eyebrow.
Yeah.
Do
And
you
then
see
like
that, Eric?
the shape of his mouth, he's got this weird kind of like almost like croaking looking smile. It's
Right.
lopsided.
It's
Yeah.
it's like it's a weird half smile, but it's like a grin to half smile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you know Alice the Pigeon Lady? Or how do you guys...
So I just because of doing this this account, actually that was the weird thing for me was it was fun when I was doing it by myself and I had a couple friends that figured it out and started following, and then I started to get other people, especially people that could actually draw a lot better than I could, following me and being like, "Well, this is like real fun. I like watching, like seeing your draw every day." And they'd send me some real encouraging messages. Like Alice has been incredibly nice to me. There was a good like probably 6-month period where I didn't post anything, and like she sent a couple messages saying like, "Hey, hope you're doing well. We miss seeing your Costanzas," and like it meant a lot, and that's what kind of brought me back was that people enjoyed this. So
I think, it's definitely a Zen like quality to just going through it. I mean, just because, I mean, I literally had a Zen teacher who would say the same word over and over again at the beginning of every single class to get us into Zen. It was like, because eventually if you do something, it takes away its meaning, and then you add to a different meaning. So you literally are doing a Zen Buddhist like practice by doing the same picture over and over again. So
cool.
Yeah, it's actually a
job.
very common theme in fine art as well, to repeat repeat the same painting or the same strokes or the same pattern over and over.
And
It's a way of exploring it further. Yeah.
Yeah, there was something I can't remember exactly what it was. It was in that Banksy documentary, that Exit Through the Gift Shop, where they're like just repeating the same image, like to take its meaning and change its meaning. And I was like, that always kind of stuck in the back of my mind, but I in a much less serious way.
Yeah.
In a way of like, I'm just making this really dumb Costanza, and like there's the one I just drew for y'all. A little
Oh,
bit
cool.
good off model. Could put it on the side of
Yeah.
a daycare you'd find in the city.
Alice wants to see a wall hanging with lots of Costanza variations,
Okay.
like a poster of your work.
Yeah. I actually, well, I save them in that I don't throw them away. So they're all like over my apartment somewhere. So I should get them all and just throw them together. Like some of them are in a notepad, some are in a desk, some are in my car.
That's cool.
So
Are you gonna turn them into a coffee table book like when you have all 365 eventually?
God, if I had enough people follow that were really interested in it, but I've always been really kind of weird on like people that sell the image of somebody else. Like I don't know, fucking. I'm apologize. I'm not supposed to curse on here.
We don't do it ourselves, but we don't encourage you not to do it either.
Yeah.
So you're good.
Okay, but yeah, I don't know Jason Alexander. I don't want to like, if it's his face, he can do what he wants with it. But I would just feel kind of weird.
He's too famous for it to be his face. It's our face now.
Yes,
it's everyone's face.
We've done it so many times that we've changed the meaning. It's no longer his.
He made
face.
enough money on that face that he shouldn't care. That's how celebrity pictures go.
Yeah.
Like we give them our money, we get to draw their faces whenever we want.
Yeah. If it happened, I'd be happy to like be, like, hey, we'll donate, all of the profits to whatever charity, that he wants to send it to. But I've never thought about like, monetizing it.
If he ever sat you down and said, pay me like one of your French girls, would you do it?
Absolutely. In a heartbeat. I don't care if I had like good pins or anything. I would just grab like whatever's around. Like we're doing it right here, right now, man.
Okay, so Jason Alexander, this somehow makes it back to you. You've got a job.
Yes. Come on in. I'll have you sit. We'll do a real good painting, a good portrait.
So how many more do you have left? Do you know? How many have you done? You've done 120 posts.
Yeah, I really don't know. I really haven't put an end cap on it right now. I'd like to do like an entire year in a row. Which I just broke my last streak of just a couple weeks because I didn't do it yesterday. I'd like to do 365 in a row, but it'd be funny to do something even more like 500 or 1,000 or something like that.
Yeah,
just keep on doing this till the day you die, like on your deathbed.
You just did 2 today. Do those count? Do both of them count?
No, I only count 1 per day.
Interesting.
The one that I post is the one that I count.
Do you have any other rules about it?
The only other rule that I have right now is that I don't do another person or another character, and I haven't done George in another pose. So I've kind of been thinking around about like, do I want to go a little bit like weirder and like I could do like a whole like short 3-panel comic, and the last panel is always just George in that like position, because it still like leads up to that final image, but it just doesn't break that look of the page if it's just the same thing over and over again, which to me is one of the funniest parts of this thing.
Right. That's the problem.
How can we stop using lined paper out of curiosity, or just got bored one day, or just grab different piece of paper?
The reason I stopped using lined paper is just because I hate lined paper. I think that's what I had for the most part in my house at the time. But it's because I just like it. To me, it distracts from like the actual image.
Okay.
It distracts me at least. I don't know. I don't have anything completely.
Did any other materials change that you use?
I mean, I have some other like pens and pencils. Like it really just depends on what I have around. Like there have been a couple that I'll like bang out at work, and like I have a Sharpie nearby, or I had like an orange dry erase marker that I used to like sketch everything in, then did Sharpie over that. So it really just depends on what I have around. I'm kind of a messy person at my desk, so whatever is in reach is what I'll use.
Okay.
And do you accept guest submissions? Like if somebody's like, I really want to draw your George Costanza for the day, you accept it or no?
I haven't even thought about that. No, I mean, there was a guy that I talked to early on, and he was like, "Yo, I really like what you're doing. I'm gonna start like a second account." And he was doing he was also a much better artist than I was, doing another picture of George Costanza, and he would do some different mediums and stuff. But no, I haven't had anybody submit and ask if they could put their Costanza on my page. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. It'd probably be like if I'll do it like on a certain day or something, but I'm not against it.
So once again, you started this because you were tired of drawing boxes,
Yes.
because you wanted to learn how to draw.
Yeah. I always drew when I was a kid, but I just wanted to get better at it. And it seemed like it wasn't going to be the one thing I did. It was going to be just like kind of a thing I would do in warm up or something like that. And now it has become like the one thing I do on a consistent basis as far as it comes to art.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
And why did you want to learn how to draw better?
I've always enjoyed drawing, but I have recently really kind of kicked up my desire to want to like tell stories. I went to film school in college. Went through all that. And that's how I ended up out in Austin because there was a good independent film community. But when I came out here, a lot of that had like just dried up because of some, the governor got rid of the tax incentives. So all the jobs left.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing some other things. But I've recently like really COVID as well has helped me really like refocus on like trying to get back into storytelling, whether that's like writing short stories or my plan was eventually I wanted to get confident enough to draw a good comic, to make some comics.
Okay.
And that's why I was like frustrated with the box. It's like I get the box is like a building block for a lot of things. It was like I want to draw people now.
Okay. So have you gotten better at drawing comics? Is that something that you're onto, or?
No, I need to try. That's something I haven't challenged myself with yet, but it's like, there's people out there that, draw a very simple style, but it gets everything across. They like tell a full story and it's great. So I just need to give that a shot sometime.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So are you more of a writer usually, or?
Yeah. That's, I think, where I feel more comfortable
or director
is with writing.
or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But
when you do make your comic, are you going to write like a script, or are you going to make it like actually like just the basic squares and fill it in like that?
I don't know. I really haven't thought too much about how people create comics. That's something I haven't really looked into. It's like, what is the scripting process like? What is this like? So I kind of just have been like writing ideas out in like a short story format. And then I would kind of try to figure out how to draw that stuff. And some of the stuff I was reading really got me like, man, I don't want to just draw like these flat, boring things. I want to make these really dynamic, really cool things. Like I had just come across this video, which really got me started, this video on Akira Toriyama, the artist and creator of Dragon Ball, and like how he conveyed motion through everything. I was like, whoa, I really want to like learn more about that to make these things more dynamic. And I think I got a little caught up in like, I am not at like being like, I need to be at a better place with better skills before I can even attempt to try anything, which is a dumb idea.
You got stuck. Yeah. You got stuck on a George Costanza. I mean, like the whole thing sounds like a joke. No offense to you, but like,
no,
like this is
taken.
something George Costanza would do, is he would be like, I'm going to create a comic, but I'm going to just draw one person over and over until I'm a great artist. But that picture, you never do backgrounds. You never do the,
so the comic's just going to be like,
it's just like always the same, basically the same thing, which is a George move. Yeah.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I'm going to call it how it is. Yeah.
Yeah. You got it.
That's very interesting to me. But you've done some variety. You had the Perspective City sketch which had a story to it.
Yeah.
How did that one feel? Because that is different.
That one felt fun, especially because something that's lost on that one is I actually did that in the story, and I had like a couple more like lead ups and changes into it with some really weird music, and that felt like a lot of fun. That's something I've been thinking more and more about, is doing more of that stuff. But it's just, again, like I say I have all these hesitations. Like I hesitate to do it too much because I don't want to ruin that whole like ridiculousness of the front page, but that's something you can always scroll down and go see whenever, I guess.
And yeah, and that had color too, which is one of the two that had color.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Both of the two that have color
three or
was
four.
because
Yeah.
they were all those the color ones are all on sticky notes.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alice appreciates the how well you draw the expression, which is very intense all the time, every time. Yeah. So
It's
she's
always I
that's
feel
funny.
like it never comes together until I get the eyebrows and the wrinkles.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. Yeah. There's a couple of these where the bat is bent.
Yeah, man. Like, so if you look at the picture of like the actual reference picture
Yeah.
of George Costanza, like I don't know if it's the lighting, but it just like I cannot figure out the geometry of this thing and how it looks. Like I can look at a baseball bat and see like that's how that is, but
He's holding it like going away from the camera, so like it's got so like the part that's the closest to it is the bottom. I think that's what's probably the problem is.
yeah, and it's
And
like
like
there's
yeah, and like it almost looks like the bat like at times is split in half, like just how like it's the lighting is problem.
Well,
yeah,
there's two problems. One, the camera lens is curved, right? And so you're getting a little bit of curvature in the corner of the frame, I think, from the lens. And two, the fence post is straight and it's behind the bat, which is throwing your eye off because of
100%. Yeah,
all the lines are basically an optical illusion that that make this bat look bent. Even though if you run your finger up this bat, it's got straight lines, just like a
yeah,
bat should, you know. Uh, but like if you like from a distance, it looks curved because of the fence behind it. I think it's just an optical illusion. It's a very weird picture to choose to learn how to draw.
Well, initially it wasn't supposed to be that. Was where I was learning.
It's like
how
an
to draw.
Andy Kaufman bit, like really, yeah. Not to
Yeah, I was
push
wondering
you
like,
intensely, but like that is why.
Yeah,
yeah, no, when I first talked to you, I didn't know if you were going to be like, there was like three possibilities of like that I saw you as. One was a normal dude, which like for the most part you are. Two was like this autist who speaks in the Shakespearean
Oh man,
accent.
I wish.
And third was was a comic book writer who got bored one day. He's like, I was tired of waiting for my assistants to come back to me, so I decided to do this. And you also have a cigarettes and a cigar in one hand too,
Man, both
like with a bottle of Jack.
both of those options seem like a much more fun and interesting option.
Yeah, I really thought you'd just be in character, to be honest with
Yeah.
you. Like this was going to be a performance.
Oh man. I mean, there was a part of me that's like, man, I hope I don't disappoint everyone that's like gonna finally like see who I am. But
No,
like,
I mean, I would love to do this. Like, I would love to do this, start an account just like this, and then go on podcasts and just mess with people because,
yeah,
like,
do like the whole like Eric Andre style.
yeah, because they're desperate for guests, and like I'm not an actual artist, and I'm just like, but like your intentions are pure. You know, like you're an honorable person who's not doing that, and the project is actually very interesting in that it illustrates how people learn how to draw. It's like a time based dive into how people draw, right, and learn how to draw. So it's got labor involved in it. Conceptually, this is very interesting. I don't know if it's meant to be conceptual, but conceptually, it is a very interesting project. So
Cool, man. I'm glad.
So we
I'm
were
glad
happy to have you on. We accept all kinds on here. Last week we had a guy who finished an entire graphic novel himself.
Damn. Yeah, I was looking at some of like the guests y'all had and like their like artwork. I'm like, fuck, man, these guys are real artists. Like they're actually doing something.
I mean, so like compared to last week, listeners, this is a little different. Yeah, this is not quite the same. But like he wrote and drew that whole thing, and it's like not fair, right? Because most people can't do that, but we'd love to.
Yeah. Well, it's like I just watched Princess Mononoke, the Studio Ghibli film, and I was like looking, and not only did Hayao Miyazaki like draw that stuff, paint that stuff, write that stuff, there's also music in there that he wrote. I'm like, how the hell is like one guy able to do so much?
Yeah.
It's like his mindset that like he's given like with everything is just like insane. I mean, like his son, like he doesn't his son was pulling like only like 60 to 70-hour weeks.
That poor guy.
Weeks, and his son and his dad's like, yeah, my son's not working hard enough. And I'm like, yeah, there's no way you can like live up to this guy. And
Yeah.
his son literally invented the way that they do 3D graphics or 3D cartoons.
And then he was like, this is an abomination.
And he's like, not good enough. And he's coming out of retirement because he felt his son didn't do good enough.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. One last thing that I wanted to talk about. I do a little bit of drawing. I suck at drawing too. But I just found this app that is called DaVinci Eye. Have you ever heard of this?
I haven't, no.
Okay. I like literally just heard of this yesterday, right? And I'm gonna start using it. But it's like AI, it's AR, augmented reality.
Okay.
So you have your phone on a tripod pointed at the sheet of paper. You look through your phone and you draw the picture that's on your phone onto the sheet of paper.
Huh.
Which is freaking crazy, right?
Yeah.
But like it sounds like cheating. It's not cheating. This is how artists have done this since the beginning of time.
And that's something too. I've wanted to like I've been meaning like I need to print this picture out and try tracing it and see how like that all feels and everything. But also it's like, you know, my printer like takes a crap anytime you want to print anything that has like the slightest amount of color. So
right. So projectors. I mean, like people have used that stuff since Caravaggio. You know, That's why those paintings are so dark. They used to project, do basically like a, gosh, I'm forgetting the term, but it's like a pin light that projects the other side of the room.
Camera obscura?
Yeah, he used to do that to paint.
Wow.
And that's why all his paintings were so dark, is because the people were in the other room, and what showed up was like a dark image on the wall that he would paint.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't know. Check out DaVinci Eye. I thought
definitely
that was a very cool. If anyone's learning how to draw or wanting
Costanza.
to, because I tried it yesterday. I was like very impressed with my own drawing skill.
Nice.
Even though you're just tracing.
Hey man, you gotta do it.
But yeah. I mean, even within that, I think there's still like artistic, intentions that you need to use. I don't know what you think of that, but.
No,
it's definitely something I want to check out. So thanks for letting me know.
Yeah. Eric, you got any other questions?
Come back when, or would you be willing to come back when you do your comic that's not George Costanza?
Yeah, 100%.
Cool.
Y'all be the first persons that people I let know.
All right, cool. Is your artwork done? Can we see it?
Like,
George Costanza?
Oh yeah, that one's been done for a while now. Like, but yeah, it's the kind of really janky George right there. Wrote down chicken scratch DaVinci Eye, so don't forget that. But
DaVinci Eye. Yeah. I think it was like $7. I thought $7 was worth it to draw stuff. I don't know. But that's just me. Also I like things that are not a subscription because it's wild. There's like no programs or anything can you actually like own and keep on your computer anymore. It's just like you gotta keep paying. Right. And like let's not get into it.
Okay.
That's a long conversation. Cool. Andrew, thank you for coming on.
Thanks
Thank you
for
so
having me.
much.
Yeah. And we'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good.
Find him at Costanza_sketch on Instagram. Yeah.
Anything else you want to plug before we lose you?
I don't really have any pluggables yet, but I will post anything I do in my bio on Costanza Sketch, and hopefully I have something for y'all soon.
Cool. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Bye.